Hello, and welcome back to People Skills Pro. Today we need to have a difficult but necessary conversation. We're going to talk about the end. Specifically, we're going to talk about the words and phrases a woman uses when, in her mind, the romantic potential of your connection is already over. There is nothing more confusing for a man than being in a state of uncertainty. You think things are going well, you're trying your best, and then suddenly you're hit with a phrase that feels like a polite but firm brick wall. You're left confused, frustrated, and wondering, what did I do wrong? Was it something I said? The truth is, these phrases are rarely the cause of the end. They are the symptom. They are the verbal confirmation of an emotional shift that has already happened. They are the polite social scripts that women often use to let a man down gently, but they are so indirect that many men miss the true, final meaning behind the words. Today, we are going to be your translators. We are going to decode these relationship-ending phrases. We will explore what she really means when she says them. We will do a deep dive into the underlying reasons and mistakes that lead her to feeling this way, and most importantly, we will discuss the mindset and behaviors you can adopt to prevent these situations from happening in the first place. This is not about learning to fear these words. It's about understanding them so you can get clarity, learn from your interactions, and become the man who rarely, if ever, has to hear them again. The core principle: these are symptoms, not diseases. Before we get into the specific phrases, you must understand this core principle. When a woman says one of these things, she is not making a decision in that moment. She is communicating a decision she has already made. The attraction has already faded. The respect has already diminished. The romantic door has already closed. These phrases are simply the sound of that door being gently locked. Your goal is not to learn how to argue with these phrases or find a clever comeback. You cannot debate someone into feeling attraction for you. Your goal is to see these phrases for what they are: valuable, if painful, feedback. They are a sign that your strategy, your behavior, or your dynamic was not creating the feelings of attraction and respect necessary for the connection to grow. Understanding this allows you to stop trying to salvage a lost cause and start focusing on what you can learn for the future. Phrase number 1. You are such a good friend, or you're like a brother to me. This is the classic friend zone declaration. It is perhaps the most painful one to hear because it often feels like a reward for being a good person, yet it's delivered like a rejection. What she's really saying is, I genuinely value you as a person. I recognize your kindness, your loyalty, and your supportive nature. However, I feel absolutely zero romantic or sexual spark towards you. The idea of being intimate with you is so far from my reality that I'm placing you in a protected, non-sexual category, friend or brother, to make the boundaries explicitly clear. The psychology. Why does this happen? This happens when you have successfully demonstrated all the qualities of a reliable companion, but none of the qualities of an attractive, romantic partner. You killed all romantic tension. You were likely too agreeable, too available, and never made a move. You were so afraid of being rejected or making her uncomfortable that you never created any of the flirtatious, challenging, or sexual energy that is necessary for attraction. You became her emotional support animal. You were always there to listen to her problems, especially her problems with other men. You became her confidant and her shoulder to cry on. In doing so, you stepped into the role of a platonic support system, a role that is almost impossible to transition out of. You never led. You let her dictate the terms of the relationship. You never took charge of planning dates, and you never confidently moved the interaction forward physically or emotionally. The path forward. Lead with intent. To avoid this, you must be clear about your romantic intentions from the beginning, not through a blunt confession, but through your actions. Flirt. Use playful teasing, banter, and the types of forbidden compliments we've discussed before. Create a fun, flirtatious vibe, not just a friendly one. Don't be her emotional therapist. If she starts complaining to you about other guys, you must politely shut it down. A high-value man is not interested in being a free emotional dumping ground. You can say, "Hey, I'm sure that's frustrating, but I'd rather not talk about other guys. I'd rather talk about you and me." Lead the interaction. Ask her on real dates, not vague hangouts. Lead the conversation. Be the one who suggests the next step. Create a dynamic where you are the potential partner, not the platonic sidekick. Phrase number 2. I'm just really busy with work, school right now. This is the most common and socially acceptable excuse for unavailability. It sounds reasonable, but 99% of the time, it is not the real reason. What she's really saying, I am not willing to make time for you. The prospect of spending time with you is less appealing than my other options, which could be my work, my friends, my hobbies, or even just staying home and watching Netflix. You are not a priority in my life, and I am using my schedule as a polite, non-confrontational way to reject you without having to say, I'm not interested. The psychology. Why does this happen? This is a direct result of a lack of attraction and excitement. Think about it. When you are truly excited about someone, you find the time. You'll cancel other plans, you'll stay up late, you'll move things around. The phrase, I'm busy, is almost never about a person's actual schedule, it's about their priority list. Her statement simply means you are not high enough on that list. This usually happens because the interactions were boring. The dates or conversations felt like the job interview we've talked about. There was no fun, no spark, no emotional connection. You were too available. You texted too much, you were always free whenever she was, and you showed that your life revolved around her. This lowered your perceived value and killed any sense of challenge or urgency. The path forward? Be the main event, not the sideshow. A woman will make time for a man whose presence is an exciting and valuable addition to her life. Focus on creating fun. As we've discussed, your goal on a date is to create a fun experience. When she has a genuinely good time with you, she will want to have that experience again, and she will make time for it. Have your own life and show it. Be genuinely busy with your own purpose and passions. When you have a full and exciting life, your time is actually scarce and therefore more valuable. You're not pretending to be busy, you are busy. This makes the time you do offer her feel more special. Phrase number 3, you're too nice for me, or you deserve someone better. This is one of the most confusing and frustrating phrases a man can hear. It sounds like a compliment wrapped in a rejection. It feels like you're being punished for being a good person. What she's really saying is, I am not attracted to you, and it makes me feel guilty because, on paper, you are a good person. Your lack of confidence, boundaries, and assertive edge makes me feel no romantic spark. I know I should like a guy like you, but I don't. To resolve my own cognitive dissonance, I'm going to frame this as my own flaw, like, I'm not good enough for you, to let you down easy and avoid having to say the harsher truth, which is, I'm not attracted to your passivity. The psychology, why does this happen? This is the direct consequence of the nice guy syndrome we've discussed in previous videos. You put her on a pedestal. You were so complimentary and agreeable that she made her feel like she had to be a perfect angel around you. This creates immense pressure. You lacked an edge. You never teased her, you never challenged her, you never disagreed with her. You were completely safe and therefore completely unexciting. Attraction requires some level of tension and polarity which you failed to create. The path forward: integrate your shadow. The solution is not to become a jerk, it's to become a good man with a backbone. Develop a playful edge. Learn the art of banter and playful teasing. Be willing to disagree with her respectfully. Stop seeking approval. Have your own opinions and standards. Don't be afraid to disqualify her if she's not a good fit for you. A man who has standards is a man who respects himself, and that is attractive. We should hang out sometime. This is the ultimate non-committal brush-off. It is the verbal equivalent of a maybe that almost always means no. What she's really saying: I do not want to make a concrete plan to see you, but I don't want to be rude and say no directly. I am going to offer this vague future possibility to politely end the conversation and defer the rejection. I am placing the responsibility back on you to chase me for a specific plan, which I will likely also find an excuse to get out of. The psychology. Why does this happen? This is a response to a weak, nonspecific invitation from you. If you say, "We should hang out sometime," you are not leading. You are making a suggestion with no plan, no time, and no confidence. You are forcing her to do the work of planning, or you are giving her an easy exit. It's a low-investment question that gets a low-investment answer. The path forward. Make definite plans. A confident man who wants to see a woman does not suggest hanging out sometime. He asks her on a date. Be specific. I want to take you out for drinks. Are you free Thursday or Friday night? Have a plan. There's a great little wine bar on Main Street I think you'd like. Let's go there Thursday around 8. When you lead with specific, confident plans, you force a specific, confident answer. She can say yes, she can say no, or she can suggest another time. But you will get a clear answer, and you will not be left in the limbo of sometime. Phrase number 5. The sound of silence. One-word replies. Days of no contact. Sometimes the most powerful phrase is no phrase at all. A consistent pattern of one-word replies, K, LOL, nice, or her taking days to respond to a simple text is a clear and unambiguous signal. What she's really saying: you are such a low priority to me that responding to you is a chore. I am giving you the absolute minimum amount of social effort required to not be perceived as completely rude. I am hoping you will get the hint and stop contacting me. The psychology. Why does this happen? This is the result of a complete loss of emotional momentum. Your text conversations were likely boring. You texted too frequently, or you failed to lead the interaction towards an in-person meeting. You have become a digital pen pal, and she has lost interest in the correspondence. The path forward. The take the hint and mirror strategy. Take the hint. The worst thing you can do is double text or ask, "Are you mad at me?" This screams neediness. If she's consistently giving you nothing, the answer is to do nothing. Withdraw your attention completely. Mirror her investment. In the future, match her level of investment. If she writes one sentence, you write one sentence. If she takes 3 hours to respond, you don't need to respond in 3 seconds. Use text to plan, not to chat. As we have discussed, the purpose of texting is to build a little emotional momentum and then set up the next date. If you're not using it to lead, you're using it to lose. So let's bring this all together. Hearing these phrases, "You're a great friend," "I'm busy," "You're too nice," "We should hang out," or just getting silence can be painful, but they are not a judgment on your worth as a human being. They are simply feedback. They are the clear, unmistakable signs that your approach is not creating the feeling of attraction. Don't fear these phrases. Learn from them. See them as a sign that you need to be more intentional with your leadership, more flirtatious in your communication, more confident in your own life and purpose, and less available. The man who understands what these phrases truly mean is a man who can navigate the dating world with clarity. He doesn't waste time chasing lost causes, he learns from his mistakes, he adjusts his strategy, and he focuses on becoming the kind of strong, confident, and engaging man who builds dynamics where these phrases simply have no reason to be said. If you found this deep dive helpful, please do me a favor and click the like button, and subscribe to People Skills Pro for more practical advice on building better connections. Thank you for listening.